Hey, afternoon, everybody. Coming to you here from Central Mississippi. I'm Matt Walker, and welcome to this episode of Walker's Workshop. More content coming your way. So deer season has come to a close. If you're wondering what this is the tailgate to this small trailer right here. This is, I believe that's a 6x10 trailer, and that tailgate goes on the back. And we've used it to haul our four-wheelers around. And I'll show you something right here. This will all be new. Here are the existing beams, and so the four-wheeler tires, four-wheeler's pretty heavy, would literally go right here. And so I've got it upside down right now, but this mesh-looking metal that's called expanded metal, bearing all the weight of that four-wheeler, and over time, obviously, that was caving in, and it tore this year. So what we did is went and got some 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch square tubing. It's not very thick. It's 1/16 of an inch thick, so it's very thin metal. It's kind of a catch-22. The thicker you go, the more durable, sure, but the heavier that tailgate is, so it's kind of a balancing point. So we're going to try to really modify and get some supports in there to where we run our four-wheeler over. It'll hold up for many, many years to come. Got some new expanded metal, but I don't think we're going to need it. We're going to try to salvage this and these welds on the other side. We'll show that later on. Again, it just kind of wore out and busted loose with all that weight coming right here. So where we came up with the measurements, my four-wheelers, that's my four-wheelers a little bit wider, but most four-wheelers, we just measured from the center of the tire to the center of the other tire, about where those tires will be going up on that ramp. Excuse me. And both those four-wheelers are 36 inches, pretty much dead center of those tires, 3 feet across. And so last night came in and cut all the metal up and got it centered from right here to right there, just 36 inches. And so we'll do some other cross supports again, just kind of make sure this expanded metal is not bearing all the weight when those four-wheelers or anything heavy for that matter is rolling up. Could be a bad boy buggy, side by side or whatever. I think we'll have it strong. So last night did some cutting, about to crank that welder up. My chop saw went out on me, but I got most of it cut up, and so I'm gonna have to cut this 3 inch by 2 inch angle iron. I've got a short piece because I'm gonna fix up this trailer that I bought from my business partner. We're gonna try to get it fixed up just like that one. That's my brother's trailer over there. This one does not have a tailgate. It breaks here on the front, so you can load and it'll pop down and you throw a bolt through there or whatever, anchor piece to hold it in. So anyway, a lot to do this episode. Do a little bit of welding. I am not a welding expert by any means, but little do-it-yourself projects, a lot of fun, get a sense of accomplishment. We're gonna see if we can't get after it. Again, there are welders that are way better at this than me, but I like doing this kind of stuff. And the more you do it, the better you get. So let's get to work. All right, we'll hook the welder in, plug it in. So we got our ground. Attach that to a good piece of metal that we weld in. So, my welding rods. We were told that that's just a good all-around welding rod. So some of you die-hard welders will probably argue with me on that, and you will probably be right. You know more about welding than I do, more than likely. But I think it'll get the job done. We're gonna start with some low with amperage there at 60. That might be a little low because again, this is thin metal. You can always turn it up. If it's too high, it'll burn through the metal. So I'd rather start with a little bit lower and see where we're at. All right, about to get started. All right, here we go. Got it cranked on, or about to crank it on rather. You just slide that piece in about a 45-degree angle. It clamps in. Ready to go. Highly recommend the Smart helmet. All right, the old school helmets, you have to lay up, kind of guess where the arc is gonna start, and pull your mask down. This is, you can go ahead, it's clear, and then when the arc hits, it darkens your mask. So for the novice, for your beginner welders like myself, or
I've been doing it for a while, but I'm just not very good. That's a much easier way to do it. So I think we bought it years ago at Lowe's for $100, something like that. So it's probably more expensive than that now, but probably not much more. To be honest with you, I don't even know. But I'm gonna crank it on. We're gonna start do these long pieces. They're 46 inches long here and here, and then we'll do the little short pieces off of that. But these are our main supports. Again, where the majority of that weight of those four-wheelers, those ATVs or side-by-sides, will be running up that tailgate. We're gonna get started. Gloves on so we don't burn our hands up. Probably should be wearing sleeves. So later videos, you're probably gonna see me wearing sleeves. I'm gonna try to get away with it. Good thick gloves, long gloves. All right, let's see what we can do. Told you I was a beginner. All right, we turned it up to 75. We'll see if that works. Obviously I don't think I had enough power. We'll try this one. All right, I'm gonna try to do some grinding on that maybe. I don't know what the deal is. Might be my welder. So finally found out what was wrong. I just didn't have a good ground, and so I got the grinder out, really ground away some rust, and able to get that clamp where it's getting good metal. You got to have a good connection on that ground. And I turned the heat up to 75, and that's too high. So I'm burning through. This stuff's real thin, like I said, it's only 1/16 of an inch. So I've turned it back down to 60. I did a little bead over there. I think we're ready to rock and roll. So I'm gonna do this one right here so we can get it on film. Still too hot, burning right through that metal. Golly, I'm gonna turn it down some more. Here we go at 40. Very frustrating. We'll try it down here some. See if we can get a better shot. Yep, there we go. I'm trying to get that far. All right, kind of about halfway done. Yeah, if you've noticed, it's dark outside, so I was getting frustrated. It's just, this is a deal, it's a perishable skill. I hadn't done it in a while, and you get better the more you do it. And I had a friend come by and visit. I was helping him. He had killed a deer earlier. I've got a power washing business on the side, so we were blowing all the stuff off the skull or whatever, the horns, and he's getting ready to do it himself. And so it was a much needed break because I was getting frustrated. But started rocking and rolling, about halfway done. So let me show you what we've done so far, and it's starting to come together pretty good. So we've done this half for the most part, and so it's not the prettiest welds. Actually, they're incredibly ugly, but did 3 sides, and then we get done doing the other side, and then I'll flip it over and do the other side, and also try to tack back down that expanded metal. But you can just see, that's really hot to the touch, but super sturdy. I think that's gonna work really, really well. Again, so this right here, that'll be where the tire runs over, but obviously on the other side. So may do a little bit more tonight, try to finish it up tomorrow. So again, a professional welder could do this in way faster, but it's fun. It's a project, man, getting out of your comfort zone and doing stuff yourself. Save you a little money, but also just creating stuff. That's the purpose of this. And if figure it out as you go, and I'll try to in the future videos do some what I have learned, try to save people time, and all about do it yourself, DIY. But Walker's Workshop, we'll do another video here in a little bit after we get going. I've done this middle piece. I haven't done any of the supporting pieces like over here, so that'll be our next video here shortly. All right, got to a stopping point tonight. We've done one side completely, and so anyway, definitely a learning curve involved there. Let me give it a close-up real quick.
So this left side right here was what we were working on. Yeah, again, those are the ugliest welds ever. But you get better the more you do it. Very frustrating. It took a long time just to get it. I'll let those cool. I'll flip this over and weld the other side, and then I'll come back and probably hit that with a grinder, wire brush grinder, just kind of make it up. Clean it up a little bit, get some flake, I think is what they call it, off, and then later on we'll come back and paint it with some spray paint. I got some of that ordered coming in, but it's going to be a lot stronger. It's also going to be a lot heavier, but hopefully that'll make that a lot more durable. So anyway, we'll continue the project on. I started this afternoon. Probably about 3:30 or 4 o'clock, and it's been going for a few hours, 3 or 4 hours. So we'll see, get this thing finished up. I'm gonna call it a night, go get some supper, and we got to work in the morning. Got a couple jobs we're gonna do, and then come back here and finish this up, and then work on this trailer a little bit as well. Anyway, Walker's Workshop. Buddy Greg Sproul, we flipped it over. I'm gonna be a YouTube superstar, Greg. You didn't know that, did you? So we flipped it over.
This is how not to weld.
This is right. We're giving lessons on how not to weld. But you know what? It'll hold a 4-wheeler. So it's coming on. We've cut the old piece of expanded metal off. I was gonna try to save it, but we just need to put a new piece on. So we're going to finish this up, and we'll put this on there real quick and tack it down, and then take a grinder and cut off the excess. So anyway, rolling on.
So getting after tonight. Greg left a little while ago, but we've got the expanded metal down. I'm gonna hit a couple tacks real quick, and I'm gonna call it a night. I'll have to finish up another night. This real tedious doing this expanded metal, because if you get it too hot, it goes through the expanded metal and defeats the purpose. So there's a little trick to it. I'm gonna look up on the internet and try to see if there's another YouTube video that I can steal. But we've got the supports are solid. They're great. So once we get this done, we'll wire brush it down and then spray paint it and then put it back on the trailer. So let me hit a couple welds real quick, and then we'll call it a night. That took forever. It's just, and like I said, I'm gonna look it up. I'm just doing trial and error tonight. Probably should have looked it up before I did it, but I kind of wanted to figure it out on my own. So I was trying all kinds of different size rods, welding rods. Greg and I there were smaller rods, these bigger ones. I was playing around with amperage, but the stronger I got, it was burning through the expanded metal. And then, so this is a bigger rod. This is a 6011, and but then I've got it turned all the way down to 40 amps, and so it's slow going. Like I said, I'm gonna look up this on the internet and see if I can find a little bit better way to do it. I'm hard-headed, but again, I wanted to kind of play around with it myself. But we're getting close. We'll have this finished, and then we'll start working on that other trailer for another project. Anyway, we're gonna call it a night. Yeah, hey guys, all right, so another night, we're getting at it, we're gonna try to finish up. So this excess expanded metal right here on this left side, I guess that's left, I mean, y'all are gonna be inverted. Anyway, it's causing this side over here where I'm trying to weld to kind of pop up because of the weight. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off, and that way this will be flatter where I can kind of pinch it down and give a weld. So anyway, we're gonna grind on it a little bit, see if I can cut that thing off, to make it easier to work with. That'll just be excess, and this expanded metal is great. I'll save it, store it away for another project down the road. But we're gonna get after it real quick and cut this off. Finally got that done. By the way, what I was doing is very dangerous. You gotta be very careful. That grinder could jump on you, cut you. So anything I do, I'm not responsible if you try it and you get hurt. Sad you gotta say that nowadays, because such a lawsuit happy people. But those of you that are lawsuit happy like that and wanna whatever, you're pathetic. There's my disclaimer. But yeah, because I'm an idiot. I didn't wear sleeves the other day, and I got sunburn from welding. Like, you know whose fault that was? That was my fault, because I'm an idiot. And so learn from it. So I'm not going to sue anybody. But Walker's Workshop, we got something down now. I'll be able to go pinch this down, and it'll be a lot easier to weld. So I'm going to get the welder going, and then try to finish tacking down this expanded metal and put this tailgate back on. We're going to grind it down real good, or brush it real good afterwards, and put a fresh coat of paint, some black paint on it, make it look good, and put it back on my brother's trailer, and he'll be ready to rock and roll. All right, we're gonna call it a night tonight. I got half of it done. This side here, still have to do that side over there, tacking it down. It just takes forever. So I'll get some close-ups real quick, show you what I'm dealing with. Again, you're dealing with a very novice welder, but if you're in a hurry, try to find a welder in your area. I'm not in a hurry. I enjoy doing it, so that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. So today's Thursday night. It's raining its tail off. Cold weather's moving in here in central Mississippi, and so I'm gonna try to finish this up tomorrow afternoon, and then maybe do a power, like a wire brush down and spray paint it and get it on there. I'm gonna try to finish by tomorrow night. So we'll see how it goes. Again, just to show you some of these welds. And so again, that's where the four-wheeler will be coming up, one side of the tires. So just kind of tack welding again. Just trying to get back in the groove. If I would stay too long on this expanded metal, this mesh looking metal, it would burn through it, and then it doesn't have anything to hold to with the main supports. So this is, I haven't touched this yet, so tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon after work, hopefully I can get started and a little earlier and try to finish all that up. So we'll see how it goes. Walker's Workshop. All right, hey, Matt Walker here, Walker's Workshop. We're coming to a close. I think I've just about got all of it welded. And now I'm gonna take, basically it's a grinder with a wire brush, and I'm gonna brush over all the welds to make sure all of them are solid, get rid of that flake. and then we're gonna try to put a paint job on it tonight, and then put it on the trailer here in a little bit. So I'm gonna get to grinding real quick, and then we'll kind of see where we're at. So the welds held pretty good. So I was having to do a I'll tell you what, let me take this off and I'll just show you the welds. Hold on a second. All right, so you can kind of see how I did it. Again, there's the supports. We had half done, the other. This is the other half we just finished up. I just finished up, and so I was really just having a hard time with this expanded metal, because if I was using too big of a rod, turning too much heat on the welding machine over there, then I was burning through the expanded metal. So obviously I was trying to go through the, build up my puddle, is what they call it, on the tubing. But again, if you keep that rod in one spot too long, it burns through the tubing, because the tubing is only 1/16 of an inch. When I get to welding on this trailer, similar to that, it's a 1/4 inch thick stuff. It's a lot easier because it's so much thicker metal. This is thin metal, so it was tough. So I was coming with some 6011 rods, which are thicker. It's like kind of an all-around rod. A lot of farmers use it, and that's actually who recommended it to me. And then I would build up a base with the 6011s, the bigger rods, and then I came back with the smaller rods. Here they are right here. So here your 6011s are a little bit thicker, and these are 70 14s? No, I'm sorry, 60 13s. 60 13s, which are, you can see, they're a little bit smaller. So much easier to weld with, and but obviously you just burn through them a lot faster. And so then I would come with those 60 13s, those smaller rods, and kind of build the puddle and overlap it. Got a really good hold. So I mean, that thing it's sturdy. Probably overkill. I mean, I was even going to do the middles here and here, but man, I got the hold in it. I think it's going to be really, really good. Obviously I still have some grinding to do to cut this off. It's very sharp, because that'll catch your hand big time and cut your hand when you're picking the tailgate up and down. And so I'm gonna do that, and then put a spray can of paint, some black paint on it, and put it back on. The videos to come. All right, Matt Walker, Walker's Workshop. We are right there. I took that grinder and cut those ends off and add an angle and try to smooth it. That's my bare hand, and got those jagged edges off. Did the same thing on this other side. It wasn't sticking out as bad, but I still had to do it. And you kind of see the angle. So I kind of angled it off to where it's pretty smooth to the touch. And then on this back, I had a little bit hanging off. Instead of cutting that off, I just took these vice grips here and kind of bend them down. So see the angle that I put on that, and so that side will be pointing toward the ground. This will be on the ground. That'll be up on the back end of the trailer here. So if I put some paint on it, hopefully put it on the back on the trailer. Well, we got the first coat of paint on there. This is on the back side. Let that dry for a little bit. Try to come back tonight. Get the other side. Really fresh coat of paint. Again, not only makes it look better, but I took this wire brush and wire brushed all that old. I started having some rust on it, so that'll just also make the metal last longer. It's a good idea to do that, make time. Over 5 years or so, just depending on how weathered it is, especially this thin stuff. It'll just make it last longer, make it look better too. So actually, I need to probably put a wire brush on this trailer. Put a fresh coat of paint on it. You can see there's rust building up on these wheel wells there. Anyway, we'll put this on here a little bit. All right, we've got it finished. I'm gonna put it on right here. So I flipped it, put the other coat of paint on. So we're gonna put it right here and see what it goes, how it goes. So this is a very lengthy project. This will be the conclusion of Walker's Workshop, episode 1. So a lot of fun. Just had to splice it over several evenings after work, and a whole lot of fun. So excited about it. Let's see how it goes. It's going to be a lot heavier, so it's going to take me a while to get it over here, but we're going to get it done. Definitely a lot heavier. Have somebody, but I'm hard-headed. Perfect. Here we go. So I may put one more episode. My brother Anson's gonna come pick it up, and so we'll get it, the forward riding up on it. So that'll be, I guess, our finale. A little, put some cool music to, some cool corny music to it as we go. But on the ends, all I gotta do is just put the little cotter pins in to keep it from sliding out. But that's it. Well, it looks good. And so again, those supports right there in the middle, that's where the four-wheeler tires will go exactly over. So should be a lot more support, and that expanded metal should last a lot longer. So, mission accomplished. Walker's Workshop. We're going to be fixing up another small trailer, that little red trailer in the back there. We might make that episode 2, and then got a floor to replace, a wooden floor to replace in our big 18-foot trailer. And so that ought to be a little fun, and replace some lights. So, a lot of cool content coming up. Thanks for tuning in, and anyway, like I said, we'll have one little cameo as the four-wheeler is loaded up and taken off. All right, we're gonna go ahead and load the four-wheeler up, got it hooked up. Having some trouble with the running lights, so I thought it was the ground wire, so I'll have to keep digging on that. So whenever we drive at nighttime, we're just gonna put it on the hazards for right now. I don't know if there's a misconnection or what, but anyway, I'm gonna let the tailgate down, I'm gonna load it up, and we'll kind of see where the four-wheeler tires are coming up on the ramp. They should be going right over those supports. So, just got it painted last night. So hopefully the tires will hit here and here. That's what we're going for. So.
Got the kick.
See, most of the weight will be coming on those main supports. Back tires are obviously in line, so hopefully this trailer will last us a lot longer. That tailgate, that amount of weight going across it. Project number 1, episode 1 is in the books. Walker's Workshop.